So there are many people who ask me, sir, is coding is needed? Because I have been talking to the people like, from last 6, 7 years. Like, I have talked to so many people. We have placed close to 1,000 people as on today via our some other program, Cyber Pro. There's some program which we run, but we have placed close to 1,000 plus people. There is one single question which is very, very repetitive in nature. People will ask me, sir, is cybersecurity requires coding knowledge? So I say no. If you are not a coder, it's not a problem. There is cybersecurity role for everyone, and we will talk about those roles. So bottom line is you don't need to be a good developer or coder. Okay. Now, these are the prominent career paths in cybersecurity as on today. Okay. As we speak today, there are primarily some 6 to 7 roles, which are very, very in demand. I'll just focus on those roles. So first is Security Operations Center Analyst, SOC Analyst. Second is VAPT professionals. So someone who SOC is basically a kind of environment wherein you are going to monitor all kind of security controls, either for your organization or for your customers, so that you can see any vulnerability which is coming up or some alarming situation which is coming up, you can take corrective action. So it's basically you can say that it's a CCTV, right? In a very crude format, in a very crude language. That analogy I'm giving it to you so that you can relate it, right? So SOC is something, maybe you can assume that, okay, you have installed CCTV in your flat and you are just doing a 24/7 monitoring. If any alarming situation you see, you kind of take the corrective action. So it's same. It monitors basically threats in real time using some tool. Basically, there that tool is called a SIM. There are different vendors probably. Okay, you can connect all your security controls with the device, and it will generate some kind of logging patterns based on which you uh, build your maybe the knowledge that, okay, say there's something which is vulnerable, and you have to take corrective action. So there are different roles: SOC analyst L1, L2, L3, threat hunters, incident responders. There are different threat intel experts. There are different profiles which are coming under SOC as on today. Maybe SIM engineering people also. Okay. Then there is VAPT, which is like so many people like they talk about ethical hacking, ethical hacking. So this is basically the red teaming side of it. And VAPT are the people who identify and exploit weaknesses in the systems and applications, and then via different tools. Correct. So first they try to see if there is any vulnerability in any application or maybe any platform or any framework, or maybe security infrastructure. So there web, mobile application, any kind of these platforms. So you try to see weaknesses into it, and you try to find if it can be hacked or attacked by any external attacker. And you try to kind of make use of different tools and then try to exploit that to generate a report that, okay, there is some problem and this problem has to be fixed, right? So this is what is a VAPT professional will be doing. But and majority of the students, majority of any person like who wants to get into cybersecurity, they want to become ethical hacker. But the problem is, on the hacking side, only 5 to 10% of the jobs are there. Maximum number of jobs are onto the defending side because everyone is protecting their infrastructure. So you have to kind of take your decisions wisely, thinking that also into the consideration. So if you want to get into VAPT, there's nothing wrong in it. There are people who are doing job in it, but you have to be very sharp, or maybe someone who has to possess many targeted skilled specific certifications or this the knowledge into it, so that you can survive for longer duration. Okay. Then there is cloud security. There are a lot of companies which are moving their infrastructure into cloud. So in cloud also, you need to secure their infrastructure. So there are so the cloud security can be another profile in which you can target your role to start into. Then there is something called as identity access management. Okay, so you, as part of IAM, you have to basically manage and secure user identities via different roles and privileges, which you can give it to them. So this was the identity access management. If you look at its sudden popularity, increase in popularity, it happened post COVID because everyone started working from home, right? Uh, and you wanted to safeguard your infrastructure also, and someone who is interacting from outside, that user should be also authorized, and that permission has to be given so that nobody can access the required infra. So that time, like no, from that time onwards, like immediately, like no, there was, though it was there earlier as well, but identity access management is one of the roles in which there's a lot of traction seen at the entry level professionals, L1 roles. So you can target that as well. Then there is something called as GRC, Government Risk and Audit. So there are different, what to say, there are different risk standards and audit related frameworks and the standards um, which are followed by different countries, different organizations. Some of them may be like, I have just give an example, ISO 27000. This is just a framework or the standard which gets followed by the organizations for some specific reason. So all these uh, audit frameworks and the compliance related frameworks, they have some certain rules. You need to master that, and if you can do that, then you can do audit of any organization as well. Okay, so you can work as maybe GRC analyst, you can work as a risk manager, or maybe as an auditor or compliance consultant, or maybe someone like no GRC consultant, knowing so many different standards and frameworks. Correct. So you can work into that role as well, and there is a career in it as well. There are many companies who are doing this. It is part of information security, infosec basically, right? Here you don't have to master any specific tool. You have to master yourself on some principle and standards. So what are the other emerging roles? So there are many other. So these are some 4 or 5 roles which I said wherein I'm seeing maximum traction at L1 level. So someone who is willing to kickstart their journey in cybersecurity, they can target these 4 or 5 roles. Apart from that, there are many other roles which are emerging as on today, which is like security architect, digital forensic experts, malware analysts, security production engineer, bug bounty researchers. So these are all different roles which you would be kind of targeting as part of your next step. Like security architect is someone who can who knows multiple products, who can architect some solutions. Those are the best people, but in order to reach to that journey, you have to master so many products, so many vendors, right? So that any solution which you design for your customer, uh, as an architect, you know all and in and out of it. So it takes time, like maybe 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the line, people can target this, right? So malware analyst also, someone like you are good onto the red teaming side. You know how to attack. Now you have found some malware. You do reverse engineering of it, malware analysis and reverse engineering, and then you build some maybe some intelligent solution out of it. Correct. So there are many other roles, but these are part of your next step of your career and advancement. The first 5 roles which I talked about, you can target it as part of your L1 and L2 profile. Okay. And from my side, the tips for freshers would be start with SOC, network security, learn some maybe firewalls or networking specific and ADR specific or endpoint specific tools, or identity access management roles, which we talked about, to build some foundational knowledge, and then explore more into the VAPT side, cloud security, and the other specialization areas, which I talked about as part of this section. I mean, right, under step 6. So this is my tips for freshers or the people who want to kickstart their journey into cybersecurity, and you are at the beginning level of your career, maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and you're trying to get into security, then this is what has to be your path.